talk about the Carol Burnett show. I read that you were a huge Carol Burnett fan.
Yeah, I am.
You know, she's my neighbor.
Wait, do you live...
I live in Montecito.
Oh, you live near Julia.
Of course.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, Julia and Brad in Montecito are like, people say that I'm the mayor. I'm like, no. But they're like the big feet, like Bigfoot. Is there a plural of Bigfoot? Bigfoots?
Big feet.
They're like Bigfoots. You get sightings. Yeah. You get sightings. You don't get, because I've lived in Montecito 30 years.
Oh, wow.
At least. And I've never seen Julia. And I've seen Brad paddleboarding.
Yeah, that tracks. She has a beautiful home. And we would go, when my wife and I went out there a couple times, she always takes us to that farmer's market.
Yes.
And it's just so quaint.
It's a lovely life.
Anyway, she was telling me also that Carol lives out there, and Carol's one of those. I've met her twice, and I had the same experience that I had with Catherine O'Hara, where I'm talking, but I'm just watching myself talk.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not fully in my skin.
I call that the Bewitched effect.
Yeah.
Remember in Bewitched where they'd sit up in the corner of the room looking down and...
Yes, exactly. And I'm such obviously a fan, but it's not even the fandom. It's the enmeshment in my life growing up and seeing her and Tim and Harvey, and them just making each other laugh. I have watched Carol Burnett bloopers more times than I like to admit. When they do that, when they all fall off the couch during Mama's Family because Mama said something. And it's in the dentist chair with Tim Conway and Harvey, and he's numbing his body, and Carol just the joy, and not just the show when she's talking to the audience. And
the talking to the audience part is insane.
It's insane, and it's so
you'd never do that today. Never
do that today, and never show as many bloopers, which I think is a mistake, because bloopers to me is like just an abandoned joy, just like completely off the rails. But when she was talking to the audience, how organic she was, how authentic she was, kind, and the surprises that happened, when there would be a connection in the audience from someone from her history. It was just so fun to watch.
It's amazing that the powers that be, such as they were, would let that happen.
Yeah.
Today, they'd be like, you're not talking to the audience. Like, nobody cares. They would think nobody cares. And yet here we are decades after that show's been on the air, not only talking about the show, but talking about that part of the show.
That part of the show. The only people that really do that now are stand-ups. You don't see that kind of conversation, not necessarily trying to make jokes, but just conversation. You don't see that happen. And I'm not kidding. Every time that song, I'm so glad we had this time together, it's like an immediate heart tug.
Yes.
So precious.
It's an ear tug.
It is an ear tug. Exactly.
It's an ear tug.
Oh, I love her. And her story just is so powerful. She was on Julia's podcast. And if you haven't listened to that one, it's very good, on her show, Wiser Than Me.
Carol would be wiser than any of us.
Anybody. And she's so humble.
Oh.
Yeah. You're her neighbor.
I always see her at the same restaurant. And whenever I walk in and she gets up to hug me, I feel like I want to start crying.
Yeah. We've all had really interesting histories. I've had an interesting history. And when someone like that becomes a maternal figure,
yes,
she receives that, because so many people come up to her and probably want to hug her or just lay all of their wounds at her feet.
Yeah, right.
She really was that kind of constant presence. When I would see her, I'd be like, oh man, it's comforting.
The other thing I think about, sort of hilarious thing, is, on SNL, Lorne always had a thing about, like, he didn't want the actors to break. He hated it. And he would literally say, we're not making the fucking Carol Burnett show.
Why though? Why? Because I'm one that has seen the SNL bloopers more times than I'd like to.
You know why, Tony? Tony, here's the thing. It's lazy. It's a lazy laugh.
Oh no, it's not. It's freedom. It's freedom. I'm telling you, there's a sketch with Sean Hayes and Jimmy Fallon and Will Ferrell at the fashion.
You know, the thing with Jimmy is he has made a career out of it, frankly, and it's beneath him.
Oh, I bet Lauren gets alone in his little private room, watches a series of bloopers, just feeds on them like a monster.
I mean, the Californians. When Fred first does,
God.
What are you doing? And Bill Hader, it's kind of irresistible.
It's irresistible. There's another one with him and Hader and Armisen at their doormen, and it's around Christmas time, and they cannot keep it together. And it is, and obviously there's Debbie Downer, which is just the top of the heap. It's so good. And I just love it. So if I'm honest, I watch those more than I watch scripted television. I get more joy out of watching bloopers.
I'm watching a lot of, my family hates this, but I'm getting a lot of funny stuff showing up on my TikTok.
Oh yeah, I have not dove into the TikTok pool yet.
Don't.
Yeah.
It will end you.
I know. Yeah.
It will know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah, and I don't need that. I'm actually, after kind of and I'm going to be taking Instagram off my phone.
I did that. It's already off. I'm still on it.
Sure, yeah, same.
And I like posting, but I go down the rabbit hole and it's a lot.
How do you post it without? Is it because I think there's programs you can post where you don't have to have it on your phone, right?
That's right. That's what I do.
I'm curious what that's called. Do you know what that's called?
You'd think I would know that, but I'm the least handy person who ever lived.
Okay. I'll find it out. But I have to, because it's, as much as I want to, and my daughter and I have talks about this, just self-regulating this, because I never, ever, ever, ever leave Instagram feeling good about myself.
That's so interesting.
And I think there's just something about.
Is the equivalent of reading the trades? By the way, the trades, for you, those of you, the trades were the Hollywood Reporter and Variety, and they used to be a real thing. They're still around, but like everything, nothing matters as much as it used to. And like if you were an actor and you would read the trades, you would inevitably feel shitty because you were not in some movie or TV show or not taking a meeting with whatever the person.
Totally. Oh, yeah. That's, I remember years ago in New York, we would have Backstage magazine. Do you remember that?
Oh, God, yes.
And I would scan that, and I would just circle in red anytime I saw the word quirky sidekick. All right, let's try that. And that was my trade starting out.
For my money, Arrested Development. I don't know, man, dude. Veep and Arrested Development. I mean, those are hard to top, my good friend. I'm sorry to say. Very hard to top.
I feel I'm very fortunate to have been a part of those. And if I'm honest, I was just so wanting. I'm just happy at the time. I was just looking for gigs. For some reason, I was put on these shows. But it's not like, because people always say like, oh, you really have chosen well for your career. And I'm like, chosen? What are you talking about, chosen?
Right.
I was just so grateful to have a job and that they wanted me. And it happened to be, I remember reading the show Arrested and being like, because I'm a huge, Christopher Guest fan and all the kind of Waiting for Guffman's and Best in Show. And I was like, oh, this is also different. This is also layered. And I was like, oh man, and I never thought I would actually get cast.
It's the most, it's so timeless.
Mm.
It is one of those shows. There are a few of them out there, but like, 30 Rock, or The Office, you can watch them and everybody has their favorite moments and highlights.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing, God, everybody is murdering in that show.
We had a lot of fun. My favorite joke, Tobias was probably, him and Joe were probably my favorite characters. And my favorite joke from Tobias was him joining the Blue Man Group thinking it was a support group for depressed men. And I was just like, come on. That is just too good. And they dressed up like Mrs. Featherbottom, like Mrs. Doubtfire. It was so outside of the box. Like Mitch Hurwitz just really did not care. He just made it. He was like, he had this grid in his head that it made sense, and he just went for it.
Do you think that there are people that watch that and don't get it, and that go, I don't think that's funny, and they want the CBS
Oh, I
You know,
I know their names. Mike and Rita Hale, my parents.
no way. That's amazing.
They never got it. The one time they got it was when Martin Short was on, and they were like, you know who's funny? Now he's funny. That guy's funny.
Oh my God, that's amazing. You know who's not funny? That Will, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Or that Jason Butterman. What's his name?
Exactly.
He'll never go anywhere.
Yeah, this is exactly what they said. They said, oh, my friends called and they said that they thought Arrested Development's really funny. We still don't get it. And I was like, all right, fair. I get it. I think the only thing they've liked is maybe when I did Clifford the Big. No, they like Clifford the Big Red Dog. They're like, that's cute. That's cute.
Who doesn't? I mean, listen, who doesn't like Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Exactly.